with more news at 11 p.m. This is WBAL Television in Baltimore. Now, live, local, late-breaking. This is 11 News.
A city police officer is denied bail as new details emerge about the woman and child he's accused of killing.
Flames ripped through a paper recycling warehouse in Woodlawn.
And tonight, the first signs of political life from an ousted state senator. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Daniels.
And I'm Marianne Bannister. Here's what's happening tonight at 11. Some political posturing tonight from former Senator Larry Young. He's not commenting officially, but it looks like he may be ready to throw his hat back into the ring, and his General Assembly successor appears to be firmly in his corner. Reporter Monique Braxton joins us now live. She has all the details for us. Monique?
Marianne, more than 100 constituents of the 44th District attended tonight's monthly town hall meeting. When former Senator Larry Young arrived, he told security guards the media would not be allowed inside. The closed-door meeting lasted about 2 hours. Former Senator Larry Young had a driver pull around back, apparently trying to avoid our camera. But his successor says they do plan to launch a re-elect Young campaign team.
So far, it's Senator Young, Senator Delegate Mitchell, and Delegate Kirk.
John Jeffries was chosen to fill Young's unexpired term after the Senate expelled him earlier this year for ethics violations. A grand jury is currently investigating whether Young used his public office to benefit his consulting businesses. Investigators believe he was paid more than $91,000 in exchange for helping an HMO win a state license and lucrative Medicaid contract. Young is also the subject of a federal probe. Given the state investigation, the federal grand jury investigation, do you think he has a chance of winning?
Well, yes, because I don't think that Senator Young has had due process up to this point.
Other constituents are also standing by their man.
We can't just blame just Senator Young. We have to say, well, if he did receive the money, then let's backtrack. See, why was he giving the money?
I think he has a rough road ahead. But if the 44th district get out and vote like they're supposed to do, and then he's going to be the candidate for the 44th district, he will win.
Senator Jeffries says the re-elect Young campaign team needs to raise more than $50,000. Another constituent told me right now they're searching for a place to set up campaign headquarters, but former Senator Larry Young declined comment. I'm Monique Braxton reporting live. Back to you, Marianne.
Monique, thank you. Larry Young wasn't the only member of the General Assembly to come under scrutiny. Delegate Gerald Curran resigned amid allegations of ethics conflicts. Efforts to create an overall ethics office in the General Assembly did not survive this session. Rod?
Some current members of the General Assembly took part in a town hall meeting of their own tonight. The governor was also on hand to evaluate this year's session. The live electronic town hall meeting was broadcast on MPT. Anyone could talk to the participants either by phone, fax, or email. The hour-long session gave members a chance to grade themselves and how well they served the people of Maryland. Earlier today, the governor helped put the finishing touches on last night's General Assembly finish. Governor Glendening signed his approval on several bills approved by the Assembly. Some of the bills that survived: a 5% state income tax cut, a $150 million increase in pension benefits, and a mandatory 4-month waiting period for teen drivers with learning permits. If you're interested in finding out more about what happened in this legislative session, you can check out our website. We've set up a special page that will answer any questions that you might have. You can just log on at WBALTV.com.
Well, one of the most flammable of all materials was at the center of a 2-alarm fire in Woodlawn tonight. The blaze started in the basement of the Simpkins Paper Recycling Company. Officials say the fire eventually spread to the first floor before it was contained. No injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation.
A Baltimore City police officer charged with killing his estranged girlfriend and her 5-year-old daughter remains in the Harford County Jail tonight without bail. It was denied this afternoon for Officer Michael Thompson. He's been ordered to undergo psychological testing. He's charged with killing 30-year-old Vicki Austin, who was 7 months pregnant, and 5-year-old Jessica Morgan. Their bodies were discovered yesterday by their landlord. The sheriff's office says that they had both been shot many times with several different guns. An autopsy this afternoon confirmed that Austin was pregnant. Thompson's current wife of just 10 months appeared with her husband today in court. She told the judge that she's now pregnant. Tonight, we've learned more about the victims and a checkered past that leads back to one of Baltimore's most notorious districts. Reporter Mindy Becerra joins us now live from the block with more on this story. Mindy?
Well, as we found out, Vicki Austin was no stranger to the block. The people who work in these strip clubs and bars say she is a former stripper who still frequented these seedy streets, often with daughter Jessica in tow. Now, opinions about Vicki are mixed, but everyone we talk to loved that little girl. It's hardly a place for a 5-year-old, but for Jessica Morgan, the block was her second home. The people here, her second family.
That was one of the brightest, most beautiful children I've ever seen.
Like all of the people we talked to, this doorman did not want us to show his face, but he did want to share his thoughts about Jessica. He says she was a gentle little soul, thrown into her mother's adult-only world. What do you think about the fact that she brought such a young child down here?
I was highly critical of that. Although everybody else did try and look out for Jessica as much as we could. She was never alone down here. Everybody looked out for her.
She was very intelligent, well-spoken. She was obedient. Just always smiling. Never seen her do anything wrong.
That little girl didn't deserve any of this. She had nothing to do with any of whatever problems she had with the person that murdered her. I'm sure she had nothing to do with it, and she got killed for it, so it's a shame.
This woman says Jessica was mature beyond her years, an adult in a child's body, full of life and promise.
One time she told me, she said, you know, I'm not going to end up like my mommy. I want to be a lawyer or a doctor someday. She had no right dying. It wasn't right.
For such a small child, Jessica made a big impression on the people here. They say they'll never forget her. Live on the block, I'm Mindy Becerra. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Mindy, thank you very much. Well, the city police have charged killing Jessica, and her brother is Michael Thompson. Tonight, he's under a suicide watch at the Harford County Jail. Marianne?
Teachers and classmates are all mourning the tragic loss of the 5-year-old girl, Jessica Morgan. The kindergartner is remembered by many as a beautiful, outgoing young child. Today, crisis counselors came to Hickory Elementary School to help the children understand the sudden loss. It's a tragedy that is striking many close to home.
She was in David's class, my son.